Now we will discuss the fourth and the last stage of accounting cycle, that is final accounts. The fourth stage of accounting cycle is final accounts. This is the fourth stage. So here final account is the last stage of accounting cycle, which comprise preparation of trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. So final account comprising the preparation of trading account, profit and loss account, and the balance sheet. We need to prepare these these three formats in order to complete or fulfill the preparation of final accounts. As I said, trial balance is a prerequisite for preparing the final accounts. Means whatever the information is available in the trial balance, based on the information available in the trial balance, we need to prepare these three formats. And these two are accounts. These two are accounts which are dividing into the two parts, left hand and the right hand side, that is debit and credit columns. Whereas the third one is a statement which is not dividing into the debit and credit columns, but dividing into the two columns as the liabilities left hand side, assets right hand side. Now let us see one by one how these accounts will be prepared by using the trial balance information with a simple example. Right here, the trader can ascertain this by preparing the final accounts. So whether the company is whether the company is in a profit position or incurring any losses, right? Whether the position of the company in terms of assets and liabilities can be ascertained by preparing these three statements as well as two accounts. Here the trial balance is said to be the link between the ledger accounts and the final accounts. It will bridge the gap between ledger accounts as well as the final accounts. It will link between the final accounts and the ledger accounts. So by using the debit and credit balances of the ledger accounts, we are preparing the trial balance. By using the trial balance information, we are preparing the final accounts, consists of trading account, profit and loss account, and the balance sheet. Now let us see one by one how what is trading account and how these trading account is preparing. What is profit and loss account, how the profit and loss account will prepare. What is balance sheet and how the profit and balance sheet will prepare. The first one is trading account. So trading account is an account which is used to ascertain the gross profit of the business at the end of the accounting period or on a particular date. So as we are preparing the trial balance on a particular date, as we are taking the same information to prepare these final accounts, we can also write the title as trading account of a company as on certain date, So here trading account is an account which is preparing at the end of every accounting period in order to ascertain the gross profit or the gross loss. Gross profit or gross loss based on the incomes and expenditures of the business. What is the purpose of this trading account? The trading account is preparing for ascertaining the gross profit or the gross loss at the end of accounting period on a particular date. So here now let us see what is the format that is used to prepare this trading account. As name itself revealing that it is an account. It is not a statement. It is an account because it is pronouncing as trading account. So we need to divide the format into the two sides, left hand side, right hand side, left hand side and the right hand side. The left hand side of the trading account denotes the debit side and the right hand side is the credit side. Now the debit side of the account again classifying into the three columns, that is particulars, amount, amount. Here they are the three columns, we are dividing the debit column of the account. Again the credit column also dividing into three columns such as particulars, amount and amount. So this is the format. Amounts in terms of currency, that is, as we are in India, we are using rupees, we can write here amount in rupees. And the title of this account is, as it is trading account, we need to write the title as trading account, trading account of a company for the period ended here, date, month, year if available. Trading account of a company for the period ended, date, month, year. So this is a format of trading account. Now let us see what are the different items. What are the different items that are comes under the debit side of trading account and the credit side of trading account. See, simply we can say that the debit side of the trading account reveals all the direct expenses of the business. Direct expenses of the business showing the debit side of trading account. Means the expenses directly we are incurring to produce the products or the services or various operations. Those expenditures are comes under the direct expenses that we need to post here in the debit side of trading account. And here the credit side, all the direct expenses in the debit side of trading account and all the direct incomes of the business, direct incomes of the business should write or post or show in the credit side of trading account. Repeating, direct expenses coming under the debit side of trading account, direct incomes comes under the credit side of trading account. Only direct expenses and direct incomes. Now let us see what are the different direct expenses or some of the direct expenses and the direct incomes of the business which we need to consider under the trading account in order to ascertain the gross profit or the gross loss of the business at the end of a particular period. So now we will see what are the different direct expenses and direct incomes. See, here we have three columns in debit column, three columns in the credit side. So the debit side of the three columns are used to write the item name, whether it is wages or the fuel, water, gas purchases, any direct expenditure, and These two columns are the amounts in rupees column. These two columns are used to write the amounts. Here these two columns are called as, the first column of amount is the inner column, which is used to adjust the amount, and the second amount column is called as a outer column, which will show the net amounts. So if you want to adjust any amounts, that amount will be adjusted in the inner column, and the second amount column is used to write the net amount in terms of rupees. Similarly, the credit side of the account also we have two columns. These two columns are also called as a inner column and outer column. Inner column is used to adjust the amounts, and the outer column is used to write the net amounts in terms of rupees. So here there are the three columns in both sides in trading account, debit and credit sides. Now let us see different items that are comes under the debit side and credit side of the trading account. So the first item that we need to take here, to opening stock. To opening stock. So directly we can posting the outer column. Opening stock is the stock which we have ascertained as closing stock in the preceding year. The closing stock of the preceding year will become the opening stock for the current period or the current year. Then we can take two purchases. Purchases is the direct expenses which we need to write in the inner column, because sometimes you may have the purchase returns in the business in that particular period. Hence we need to adjust the amount with the returns in order to ascertain the net purchases. So purchases in inner column minus returns in inner column. So the net amount need to transfer to the outer column, that is net purchases. So here they are the returns which are relating to the purchases, means purchase returns. In order to ascertain the net purchases, we need to subtract the worth of returns from the purchases. So this is the column which is used for this purpose. Any adjustments to be made in debit column or credit column, we are using the inner column of the respective accounts. Then other direct expenses like wages or the direct expenses which will be paid to the labor, to carriage inwards direct expenses of the business, to fuel, water, gas. All these are the direct expenses that are using to produce the products or the services. To other direct expenses. If any direct expenses incurred by the business, any expenses incurred by the business in the nature directly to produce the product or services in the business in a particular period, we need to post in the debit side of the trading account. Then coming to the credit side of the trading account, see, each and every item that we are posting in the debit column starting with the word TO2, because it is the debit side. In account, debit side of the account must starts with the word TO2, capital T, small o, TO2. Similarly, coming to the credit side, the credit side of the account must starts with the word BY, buy. Here the common items generally comes sales minus returns in terms of sales in that particular period in order to ascertain the net sales during the period. Apart from this, you may have by closing stock. As we are showing the debit side as opening stock, the closing stock should be writing the credit side of the trading account. Closing stock, this is also one of the item comes under the direct income. Sales direct income. After selling the products directly, the company generates some revenue, that is direct income to the business. So they are the some of the items that are comes under the debit and credit side of the trading account. After posting these items in the respective columns, we need to ascertain whether there is a gross profit or the gross loss. So after posting these items in the respective columns, we need to see the totals of the trading account. This is also kind of closing the account in the ledger book. First, we need to identify or observe the total amounts available in both credit and debit sides, and identify the highest amount in the trading account, whether it is in debit or the credit sides. So if you find the total highest amount in the credit side, the same total balance transferred to the opposites in the same row, then in order to ascertain the difference amount, so this difference amount is known as gross profit. As it is in the debit side of the trading account, we can start with the word to gross profit. Here, transfer to profit and loss account. So this is the difference amount. Which is called as gross profit. In another side, if the total of debit is more than the total of credit, that is expenditure is more than the income, then we may find the difference amount in the credit side. That is known as gross loss. Transfer to profit and loss account. As it is credit side, we need to start with the word by gross loss, gross profit. So this is the difference amount in the credit column. So this is difference amount in credit column, which is known as gross loss, which will be transferred to profit and loss account. So profit and loss account, as it is gross loss, we need to debit the expenditures and losses, right? So as it is gross loss, profit and loss account, debit side. As it is gross profit, incomes and gains should be credited. So it should be transferred to the credit side of profit and loss account, credit side. So this is a process of preparing the trading account. Here, ascertaining the profit or the loss in trading account, the equations are gross profit equal if credit amount greater than debit amount, we can realize the gross profit. This is one equation. If the credit amount, that is direct income, is greater than the debit amount, that is direct expenditure, we will ascertain the gross profit. We will get the gross profit. In another hand, second one, there is a chance of incurring loss, that is called as gross loss. Gross loss means if the direct expenditures are more than the direct income, then we may incur loss. As these two are direct expenditure and direct incomes, this is called gross loss. If the debit amount, if the debit amount is greater than credit amount, then we may incur some loss, that is gross loss. So these two are the equations used to set whether it is gross profit or the gross loss. Very simple. Direct incomes more than direct expenditures, that is gross profit. Direct expenditures more than direct incomes, that is gross loss. The same equation said, the same was telling the equations, that is gross profit we can ascertain when the credit amount is greater than the debit amount. Gross loss said when the expenditures more than the direct incomes, then we may incur some loss, that is gross loss. So this is a process of preparing the trading account. The data is available in the trial balance. So all this information will take from only the trial balance. After preparing the trial balance, after tallying the both debit and credit columns in the trial balance, then we will initiate to prepare the final accounts. This is the first account that we need to prepare in the final accounts, and these are the items, some of the items that we need to consider under the trading account in order to ascertain the gross profit or gross loss. So the significance or the purpose, what is the purpose of preparing this trading account means, the purpose of this trading account is to ascertain whether the business is generating profit or incurring losses in terms of gross, or whether it is gross profit or the gross loss. To ascertain the gross profit or the gross loss, we are preparing the trading account. Business need to prepare the trading account, and the major elements of this trading account is direct expenses, direct incomes. Direct expenses, direct incomes. The debit side of the trading account shows all the direct expenses. The credit side of the trading account shows all the direct incomes. Direct expenses means the expenses that the business incurring during the particular period directly to produce the product or the services. Direct incomes means the receipts of the business directly by selling the goods or the services or the products. That amount or the income is called as direct income. So we need to take the difference between these two in order to ascertain whether there is a gross profit or gross loss in the business in a particular period. So this will be ascertained at the end of particular period. Therefore, we are writing the title as trading account of a company for the period ended so and so date, month, year if available. So your company means we need to write the name of the company, whether it is X company, Y company, Z company, or any other name of the company we can write. So this is a process of preparing final accounts, trading account. So by using the gross profit, indirect incomes, and indirect expenditure of the business, we will ascertain the net profit or the net loss. Now let us see what is the format that is used to prepare the profit and loss account in order to ascertain net profit or the net loss of the business on a particular date or the period. So the format of profit and loss account, it is also an account. Profit and loss account means the format should dividing into the two columns, that is debit column and the credit column. And the debit column of the profit and loss account again classified into two columns: particulars, amount in rupees, and amount in rupees. Particulars, amount in rupees, and amount in rupees. Whereas the credit column also classify into three columns: particulars, amount in rupees, and amount in rupees. Amount in rupees and amount in rupees. Here, the purpose of these columns are: particular column is used to write the detail of the account, the detail of the expenditure, we can say, because the debit side of the account shows all the indirect expenses, the credit side of the account shows. This is used to take the indirect expenses of the business. It is used to write the indirect incomes of the business. Indirect expenses, indirect income of the business. So here this column is used to write the indirect income account name, and these two columns are used to write the amounts for the corresponding account, that is expenditure in terms of salary, in terms of commission, in terms of rent, in terms of interest, in terms of dividend, in terms of any other form. So these two columns are used to write the amounts, and the first amount column is called as inner column, which is used to adjust the amounts. Is there any outstanding expenses or the prepaid expenses? That amount will adjust with the respective expenditure in order to transfer the net expenditure amount to the outer column. I am repeating, the inner column is used to adjust the expenditure in terms of outstanding expenditure or the prepaid expenditure. Will adjust in inner column, the net expenditure amount will transfer to the outer column. And coming to the credit side of the profit and loss account, all the indirect incomes of the business will record in the credit side of the profit and loss account in terms of rent received, interest received, commission received, dividend received, discount received. All the receipts which are not comes under the direct income will write in the credit side of the profit and loss account in particular columns. Here in these two columns we will write the amounts. Here also the first column is the inner column, which will use to adjust the incomes, and the outer column is used to write the net income of the business in the form of indirect, that is indirect income. After adjusting the amounts in inner column, we will transfer to the outer column. For example, rent received, but is there any prepaid rent or rent not yet received? So that kind of adjustments will be there in the business in a particular period. If any such transactions are there in the business, that amount will be adjusted here. For example, to rent received amount here, prepaid rent or received in advance. If it is received in advance, that is not income not relating to this particular period, which will be adjusted in the next accounting period, that we need to deduct here. So such adjustments will be done in the inner column. The net income will transfer to the outer column. So this is the credit column and this is the debit column. Now coming to the title, So the title of the account is profit and loss account, profit and loss account of a company for the period ended. We can write here date, month, year if available. So profit and loss account of a company. Here we need to write the name of the company. For the period ended, the period we need to write the end date of the accounting period or the period that is given in the question. So here profit and loss account of a company for the period ended so and so date, year and the month. Now let us see what are the different items that are comes under the profit and loss account. See, here after preparing the trading account, we are preparing the profit and loss account. So by preparing the trading account, we may ascertain gross profit or gross loss. If you found the gross profit by preparing the trading account, that we need to transfer to the profit and loss account the credit side by gross profit within the brackets transferred from where? Trading account. Transferred from trading account. Similarly, if you ascertain any gross loss by preparing the trading account, that we need to transfer to the debit side of profit and loss account as to gross loss. Here can write transferred from trading account, amount in outer column. After that only we can write the remaining expenditures and incomes of the business comes under the profit and loss account, both debit and credit columns. As I said, the debit side of profit and loss account shows all the indirect expenses. The credit side of the trading profit and loss account shows all the indirect incomes of the business. So let us take some of the expenditure that are comes under the profit and loss account. To salaries, to discount, to rent, to commission, to interest and to other indirect expenses. Other indirect expenses can take under the debit side of profit and loss account. Similarly, the indirect incomes. See, as it is debit side, we are starting with the word TO2 for each expenditure. Similarly, here by income received in terms of interest received, by commission received, by rent received. So need not to mention the word received, because default, if you are writing in credit side, means that is receipt. Need not to mention clearly it is received or paid. Here default, if you are writing in the debit side of the account, means that is expenditure to the business. If you are writing in credit side of the account, means default it is receipt to the business. By other indirect indirect incomes. Other indirect incomes. So they are the some of the items that we need to consider under the profit and loss account. So after posting all the items available respect to office and administration and selling and distribution in terms of indirect expenses and indirect incomes, we need to close the account at the end. So here we need to close the account. How you are closing the trading account? Similarly, you need to close the account at the end. So we need to see the total of credit and the total of the debit. If you find the total of credit is more than the total of debit, this is the difference amount. The difference amount is known as net profit. Net profit. Transfer to capital. We cannot write here account because we are not transferring to account. We are transferring this net profit to capital in balance sheet. So we cannot write here an account. So this is how we are ascertaining by taking the difference between credit total and the debit total. So we found that the credit amount, that is indirect incomes including the gross profit, is more than the indirect expenses, that is the net profit. So this is the difference amount. This is the difference amount called net profit. If you find the difference amount in the debit column, that is net profit. If you find the difference amount in the credit column, that is known as by net loss. Also transfer to capital. Here we find the difference amount in credit. That is known as net loss. If you find the difference amount in debit column, that is known as net profit. Or here you have two equations to find the net profit or the net loss. So we can say net profit if the credit amount greater than the debit amount in profit and loss account is known as net profit, and we can say that is net loss when or if the debit amount less than credit amount. Here if you find that if the debit amount, that is indirect expenditure, is greater than the indirect incomes, then we can say we incur loss. If you find that the credit amount is greater than the debit amount, then we may find the net profit. So these two are the equations for the net profit and the net loss. When we can set there is a net profit, when the credit total amount is more than the debit total amount, we can say there is a net profit. In another hand, if the debit total is more than the credit total, we can say that there is a net loss in the business. So this is a process of preparing the profit and loss account, and these are the some of the items which are considered under the profit and loss account while preparing. So these gross loss and gross profits are taken from the trading account, the trading account, gross profit or the gross loss. So this is the process of preparing the profit and loss account. The third stage of final account or final accounts is the balance sheet. Balance sheet. So balance sheet is the third stage of final accounts, which is the fourth stage in the accounting cycle. As we discussed, final accounts comprises three stages, that is trading account, profit and loss account, and the balance sheet. This is the third stage in final accounts, that is balance sheet. So balance sheet is a statement. It is not an account. It is a statement. Balance sheet is a statement which shows or discloses all the assets and liabilities of the business on a particular date. So this statement is preparing for the business on a particular date. That is why we are writing the title as a balance sheet of a company as on particular date. So the purpose of this balance sheet is that to show or disclose all the assets and the liabilities of the business. Assets in terms of fixed assets and the current assets, and the liabilities in terms of long-term liabilities and the current assets. So by showing these assets and liabilities, the balance sheet will provide, and by seeing these assets and liabilities of the firm, business will come to know that the position of the business in the market, whether the business in a position to meet the current or the short-term commitments, and the business in a position to meet the long-term commitments in the business. So here the balance sheet will show all the assets and liabilities of the firm in order to know the position, in order to know the financial position of the business at the end of the accounting period on a particular date. That is the purpose of the balance sheet. And the components of this balance sheet is that assets and liabilities. So assets in terms of fixed assets and the current assets, long-term liabilities like current liabilities and the long-term liabilities. So based on the assets and liabilities, we will ascertain the financial position of the business. So at the end, the assets and liabilities of this balance sheet should be matched or equal or tally. How we are matching or equaling or balancing the debit and credit columns of trial balance? Similarly, the assets and liabilities of the balance sheet should be tallied. If any errors committed, if any mistakes or the deviations occurred in the assets and liabilities balances, means that we have committed some mistakes in profit and loss account or the trading account or the trial balance or the ledger accounts or the journal entries. So this is the final statement which shows the position of this statement in terms of assets and the liabilities. Now let us see what is the format and what are the items comes under the balance sheet. So the title of the balance sheet is balance sheet of a company, balance sheet of a company as on here the date, month and year if available. This is the title of the balance sheet. Here, as the name suggests, balance sheet, it is not an account, it is a sheet. So balance sheet is a statement. This statement is dividing into the two columns, that is left hand side and the right hand side. The left hand side of this balance sheet shows the liabilities of the business. liabilities of the business, and the and amounts, amount in rupees and amount in rupees. The left hand side of the balance sheet classified into three columns: liabilities, amounts in rupees and amounts in rupees. Here the right hand side of the balance sheet also classify into the three columns, that is assets, amount and the amount, right? Here it is also classified into three columns: assets, amount and amount. Now let us discuss what are the columns available and what is the purpose of these columns. The first column in the left hand side is the liabilities. This column is used to show the liabilities of the business at the end of accounting period, both long term liabilities, current liabilities. And these two are the amount columns. These two are the amount columns, as we are using currency in terms of rupees, amount in rupees. These two columns are used to write the amounts in terms of rupees, and the first column is the inner column, which is used to adjust the amounts, and the second column is the outer column, which is used to write the net amounts. When coming to the right hand side of the balance sheet, assets, amount in rupees and amount in rupees. Here the assets column is used to show the assets of the business, both the current assets and fixed assets, whereas the two columns are amounts columns, the inner column and the outer column. Inner column is used to adjust the amounts and the outer column is used to show the net amounts for the corresponding assets. So this is the purpose of the columns available in the balance sheet. It is not an account, it is a statement. So let us see what are the different items or the different components we are using in balance sheet or while preparing the balance sheet. So here this is also statement which we are preparing by using the trial balance. So to prepare this balance sheet, we require to prepare the trial balance by using the balances or the amounts of the information available in the trial balance. We need to prepare the balance sheet. Therefore, balance sheet is a trial balance is a prerequisite for the balance sheet. If you want to prepare a balance sheet, we must require to prepare the trial balance. So if there is no tally, if the debit and credit balances of the trial balance are not tallied, it is not possible to tally the balance sheet. So at the end of the period, you should not have any differences between the assets and liabilities in totals. If so, there is some mistakes in preparing trading account or the profit and loss account or any other previous books. So now let us see what are the items. Here assets, there are two types of assets, right? That is fixed assets. Fixed assets are like a land, buildings, furniture, if any depreciation for these assets, we can deduct or subtract the depreciation from the respective asset, and the net amount will transfer to the outer column. And other fixed assets, so this is given for example. If any depreciation is there in the business for the assets, we need to subtract the asset depreciation from the asset. The net amount will transfer to the outer column. So they are the some of the fixed assets, whereas the current assets like cash, bank, debtors, and other current assets. Other current assets. Other current assets. Now, coming to the liabilities, we have two types of liabilities. Long-term liabilities. Long-term liabilities. So, under long-term liabilities, first we can take the share capital. Share capital. So, we have different items that we need to adjust with the capital. Share capital plus net profit. If you ascertain the net profit in the profit and loss account, we need to add net profit to the share capital, or if you have any net loss in profit and loss account, we need to subtract from the capital. So after ascertaining this, minus drawings. If the owner of the business done anything from the business for personal use, you need to subtract the worth of drawings from the capital. So they are the common adjustments for the capital. The net amount will be transferred to the outer column. Apart from this, preference capital, debentures, and long-term loans. Long-term loans. So they are the common long-term liabilities in any business. Apart from this, we may have current liabilities. Current liabilities. Current liabilities are like creditors, bills payables, bank overdraft, that is bank OD, other current liabilities. Other current liabilities can take here. So these are the some of the items are comes under the long-term liabilities and the current liabilities. After completion of posting all the items, both assets and liabilities, now we need to total the both assets and the liabilities of the balance sheet. Both assets and liabilities of the balance sheet. So here, after balancing the totals, both assets and liabilities, we must find the equal balances of assets and liabilities columns. Both the columns should be equal. There should not be any differences or the deviation between the assets and the liabilities. If so, we need to assume that there is some mistake committed in the past records, that is trading and profit and loss account. So here we need to take fixed assets, land, building, furniture, computers, vehicles, plant, machinery, and other assets. Here this is given for example, if any depreciation available, if any depreciation to be adjusted, we need to adjust with the fixed assets here in inner column, the net amount transferred to the outer column. Then followed by the current assets. Current assets in terms of stock, raw material, work in progress, finished stock, cash, bank, debtors, bills receivables, short-term investments, prepaid expenses, income not yet received. All these are comes under the current assets, which we need to post here in the under the current assets. Similarly, here the long-term liabilities. Long-term liabilities like share capital first we need to take, followed by any net profit ascertained or the net loss from the profit and loss account. We need to adjust with the capital. If it is net profit, we need to add the net profit to the share capital. Any loss, net loss, need to subtract from the share capital in order to ascertain the net capital. If any drawings, if the owner of the business drawn anything from the business for personal use, we need to subtract the worth of drawings from the capital, then the net capital transfer to the outer column, followed by preference capital, debentures, long-term loans. So these are the major items that are comes under the long-term liabilities. So after that, we need to take the current liabilities in terms of creditors, bills payables, bank OD and other current liabilities. Here I have given only some current liabilities, that are some items which are comes under the current liabilities. After posting these assets and liabilities, the totals of these assets and liabilities of the balance sheet should be matched, should be equal. It is a mandatory that to show the equal balances of the assets and the liabilities. Here the debit and credit balances of the trial balance tallied, then here the balance sheet of the company must be tallied. If any deviations or the differences in the totals of assets and liabilities, it means that we have done some mistake in preparing profit and loss account or preparing trading account. So this is a process of preparing the balance sheet of a company for a particular period or as a specified date. So this is the third stage of final accounts. With this, the accounting cycle completed. Okay, that is trading account, profit and loss account and the balance sheet. So the first stage of accounting cycle is journal, preparation of journal. Second stage of accounting cycle is ledger. Third stage of accounting cycle is trial balance. Fourth stage of accounting cycle is final account, which consists of the trading account, profit and loss account and the balance sheet. So we have discussed all these four stages with the simple illustrations. Okay. My dear students, until now we have discussed in this video such as the various stages in accounting cycle, that is such as journal, ledger, trial balance and final accounts. And the final accounts comprising trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. Profit and loss account and the balance sheet. So they are the four stages in accounting cycle, and this accounting cycle concept is very important in business in order to prepare the position statement at the end of the accounting period. If any business want to prepare the position statement, that is balance sheet, which shows all the assets and liabilities in one statement, you must take utmost care while preparing the journal, ledger and the trial balance. Finally, by using the trial balance, after testing the accuracy of the books of business, then only we can start the final stage of trial accounting cycle, that is final accounts. So all these stages are playing a very significant role. So each stage is very important for the business in order to ascertain the performance of the business at the end. So each and every stage at each and every stage. The accountant must take care while preparing or passing the entries, preparing the ledger account, preparing the trial balance, and also preparing the final account. So, my dear students, understanding the final accounts, journal, ledger, and the trial balance is very easy and also very important. So, one must have minimum knowledge or the basic knowledge of accounting who wants to start a business, so that you need not to depend on another on in these areas. At least you must have some idea in order to ascertain how much cash is available, how much assets are available, what are the liabilities, what are the current assets, what are the fixed assets, what are the long term liabilities, what are the current liabilities, whether the business is in a position to meet the short term commitments, or whether the business is in a position to meet the long term commitments. To understand all this information, on understanding all these areas, so you must have the basic knowledge of this financial accounting. This is very important concept in examination point of view. Okay, thank you.